A corpse hangs from a 100-meter tower crane, swinging directly in front of the police station gate. Detective Captain John sees the corpse's face. He is so terrified that he loses his mind on the spot. This man was killed by his own hands last night in the wilderness. Who hung the corpse as a disgrace in front of the police? The taxi after the victory celebration has become a deadly battlefield. The driver drew a knife and stabbed John, but was killed in self-defense by the drunk John. The promotion call from the chief became the shovel that buried his conscience. The truth couldn't be guessed until the very last moment. The story begins with a powerful impact. A corpse hangs from a 100-meter high crane. Its face is directly facing the courthouse. This is undoubtedly an open provocation. However, when the police arrived at the scene, John, who was in charge of the case, froze instantly, because he himself was the murderer of the victim. What was puzzling was that John had clearly disposed of the body in an abandoned field outside the city. How did it end up here? It turns out that just a short time ago, the diligent John had been awarded a commendation, and was about to be promoted. The dean had even specifically instructed him to be cautious in his actions recently. John had intended to keep a low profile, but his subordinates were too enthusiastic to refuse. They threw him a celebratory banquet. After 3 rounds of drinks, his subordinates put him in a taxi. At that moment, he had no idea that danger was slowly approaching. John woke up from his stupor. He realized that the car was not heading home. He asked the driver, but the driver ignored him. By the time he realized something was wrong, it was too late. The taxi drove into a remote, desolate area. The driver pulled out a weapon. John hadn't yet figured out the driver's intentions. In the struggle, he accidentally killed the driver. He had intended to call emergency services, but then the director called. He said his promotion had been confirmed. Thinking about how he had worked hard for 15 years to earn this opportunity, and with no one around, John couldn't help but have a sinister thought. He took out tape and carefully removed the fingerprints from the weapon and the car. After cleaning up the scene, he hurriedly left. He thought that with his years of investigative experience, he could pull it off. But the next day, the body was openly hung across from the police station.